Hello, my name is Venkat Maduri, and the class that I will be going over is the Border Layout class. I will only cover the basics of what the class has to offer, as there are a lot of fields and methods that are part of the Border Layout class. Let us get started. A border layout uses a container that arranges its components to fit in 5 regions: north, south, east, west, and center. Each region can't contain more than one component. The border layout class is part of the java.object package. It extends the class java.awt.borderLayout. This class implements Layout Manager 2 and Serializable. There are many fields as mentioned, but I will only be going over 5 main fields that will be used in this example, which are north, which is the top side of the container, east, which is the right side of the container, south for the bottom side of the container, west for the left side of the container, and center for the center of the container. All of these fields are of static string type and they must be in all caps. Now for the constructors are very simple. It only uses 2 constructors. The border layout constructor simply creates the border layout and nothing to it. However, this constructor creates the border layout, but also adds in the gaps specified by the user. Like right here, you can add in the horizontal gap and you can add in the vertical gap right here. All right, to conclude, I will be going over a live code show of the border layout class. This example creates an applet with 4 borders in the center. It also gives the horizontal and vertical gap of all the borders, which is 50. This example sets and gets the horizontal and vertical gap by using methods. This is supposed to be a simple example and give an overview of how the border layout class works. Before I explain the code, I will just simply compile and run to show the output. This is the header, footer, east, west, and center. 5 borders, north, east, south, west, and center. You can name the borders whatever you want, and you can specify, as you notice, there's a gap. You can specify the amount of gap in the borders. It is important to have these 2 import statements, otherwise the program will not work. Also, when using applets, you must extend applet. These 2 variables are just for reference and they don't contribute a lot to the code. This line of code simply creates the border layout object. It's named layout, and this line of code, creates the layout of for the borders. What happens if it's not there? Let's see what happens. It should create the borders, but where do they go? They don't go anywhere, they just go on the top. So it's always important to have that line of code to create the border layout. It's set layout and whatever the name of the border layout object that you want to use. All right, and this uses the set method. The set 2 methods are used right here, the set horizontal gap and the set vertical gap. It simply uses the border layout object. It sets the horizontal gap to 50 and it sets the vertical gap to 50. Let's just play around. Let's put it to change the horizontal and vertical gap to 1. It should be a lot more compact now. Yeah, as you can see, there's almost no gap at all. All right, let's change back the gaps. And these 2 lines of code just store in the horizontal and vertical gap, also used for references, nothing too serious. And this calls the method. There's only one method to this program, which is the add mains button method. This method creates the header, the borders, I'm sorry. And this line of code creates the north border. It's important to use the north in all caps to create the border at the north side. So let's just go through this line of code. Add new button, and then in this parentheses, you put whatever you want to put that will be put into the header. So I put in header, the horizontal gap is plus horizontal gap. I stored the horizontal gap right here in this variable. So it should be the header, the horizontal gap is 50 once you run the code. Header, the horizontal gap is 50. North, south, east, west, and center. Very simple stuff and nothing, hopefully nothing too complicated. For more on the border layout class, please visit this website. On a more in-depth view on this class and more methods and more fields. Thank you for watching.